Good morning and welcome to the webinar on MRSC services. I'm Tracy Burrows, the Executive Director of MRSC, and I'm here with Steve Hawley, our Research and Communications Analyst.
Good morning, everyone.
And we're going to tell you about the services that you can access through MRSC. Great. So we're going to tell you about MRSC services. Here we are. You can see our pictures, but you can see us in person too. So that's great. There's our contact information. And so just a few technical notes on the Zoom platform. You can submit, and you should submit questions throughout the presentation. Any questions that you have, we're going to reserve time for after the webinar. Also, we have a chat feature where you can download the slides. We've disabled typing in chat, so if you have any technical questions, you can put them in the Q&A as well. We're using the chat for you to be able to download the slides today. And for the audio, if you have any issues with audio, you can go to your audio settings and change to phone audio. You can also call us for support at the number on your screen. You can enable closed captions at the bottom of your screen as well, and that allows you to show subtitles or a full transcript of today's webinar. Our agenda for today, we're going to talk about a little bit briefly about MRSC and our services. We're really going to spend most of our time, and this is what Steve Hawley is going to present, on a website overview, because that has got a ton of information that I think is going to be useful to everyone on this webinar. MRSC is a nonprofit, and we work statewide to provide technical assistance, training, guidance to local governments. You can see our services there, and we'll talk about each of these during today's webinar. Our mission is to empower local governments to better serve their communities, and we're here to serve you and to make sure that we're giving you relevant, timely resources. So that is our mission. Okay, we're going to go to a poll. Really would love to hear what kind of people are in the audience in terms of the organizations that you work for. So if you could just answer the poll here. Okay, well, a couple more seconds on this. We've got folks answering in the question and A, but you can actually, I think, just indicate on screen. Okay. And so about half of you are from cities and towns, 13% from counties. Ooh, good number from special purpose districts. That's great, because oftentimes you folks are the folks that we want to reach and make sure you understand what our services are. And then some folks from the state. So thank you very much for that. Okay, next slide, please. So a little bit about MRSC. As you can see, we've been around for a long time, and the hallmark of MRSC is that we provide timely, trusted, objective information. We really want to respond to your needs. We know that there are countless sources of information out there on the web, and what distinguishes MRSC is that all of the information on our website is curated. We comb through thousands of documents to distill out the best examples that work for you. It's all, or almost all, we do go outside of Washington State, but it's almost all local information relevant to Washington State and in the context of Washington's laws and best practices, and we're independent and nonpartisan. So you can trust that our policy experts and attorneys are not going to take sides on a policy issue. We welcome your questions, but including legal questions, but we do not act as your legal representative. Jacob, yes, great. MRSC by the numbers. We are so grateful that so many of you use our services, and you can see that our website is by far the way that we reach the most people, but we have some really fantastic services beyond the website as well. So we're going to do another survey question here. I'm going to talk about our Ask MRSC service, which is where you can call us or email us with a specific question and get a response that is really tailored to you. So just asking, have you used that service recently? Yes, if often, yes, occasionally, or no, I haven't used it. Okay, we'll just a couple more seconds here. Okay, so wonderful. A small number of folks use it often, about a third use it occasionally, and most have not used the service. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about that. MRSC is Ask MRSC is one of our premier services. It's really easy to use. If you work for a city, county, the state, you're eligible for this service. Hundreds of special purpose districts are also eligible through contracts that we have with our partners. If you're not sure, you can always go to the Ask MRSC section of our website. And if you are one of our partner agencies, there's no charge for using the Ask MRSC service. And I've used it a lot. For example, when I first started my career in Washington, well before I worked at MRSC, I had questions about tax increment financing, didn't know what was legal in the state and what wasn't, and asked MRSC and got the answers that I needed. So we have the right people lots of different types of experts who will be able to answer your question. And if not, we'll find you a resource. If we don't know the answer, we'll find it for you, or we'll tell you who does have the answer. We have a great staff who answer questions. We've got super attorneys with a wide range of expertise that I hope you get to know. We have policy experts that focus on planning, finance, just general policy questions, and procurement and contracting, areas where there's a lot of complex laws and people need assistance. And next slide. To access the service, you just use the Ask MRSC button on the upper right-hand corner of our website to submit a question to one of our attorneys or our subject matter experts. The web submittal is really easy. However, sometimes when there's nothing that beats a personal confidential phone call. So if you want to talk directly to somebody, you're absolutely welcome to call us, and we'll connect you with one of our attorneys or policy experts, and you'll get no matter whether you use the website form or the in-person phone call, you're going to get a prompt response to the kinds of questions that you have. It's going to be thorough, and it'll be related to, these are the types of questions we get: questions of law, like an interpretation of a statute, personnel and salary questions, like related to a signing bonus or other kind of compensation issue, finance, like the allowed use of grants or services. And the next slide shows some more types of questions that we get: conflicts of interest and ethics questions. Again, HR questions about what kinds of employees are exempt or non-exempt, and what exactly are the rules. And the rules are sometimes difficult to interpret. So if you have a question about that, if you have a question about election or ballot measures, or just what any of your peer agencies are doing on a particular policy question, you can ask us. And again, questions of law. We have a real depth of expertise on public records and open public meetings. So we get a lot of questions around those issues, and we are able to answer them very well. Another service that we have is our training. And our training is primarily through monthly webinars and in-person trainings at conferences that we've been invited to, and some of our own regional trainings. Our trainings are tailored to government staff and to give you the pragmatic tools that you need. We have one example is our Public Works contracting series of regional events across the state that is continuing through this spring. So look for that because it's really helpful training, very nuts and bolts on everything to do with Public Works contracting. Upcoming webinars include grant writing strategies, building and repairing trust at work, and ethical considerations for local government staff. I think that grant writing strategy is going to be a fantastic webinar. There's a lot of money out there right now, and it's good to be able to take advantage of it. We also have on-demand webinars. So if you can't attend a webinar live or you're interested in what our archive of webinars are, we've updated to make the viewing and registration easier. You can see some of the main topic headings that we have, and there are credits available for some if your professional association is one that tracks those credits. We have a blog where we publish our own content. We write timely articles on court decisions that impact your workplace and other new legislation, like the example here of new legal requirements for job postings that relate to the Washington Pay and Equal Opportunities Act. So it's a great place to keep up with emerging issues, your legal, financial, and policy obligations, and much more than that. The best way to keep track of what's going on in our blog is to subscribe to our e-newsletters. And they give you the local, I mean, they kind of pull together all of our blog posts, recent ones, and also sources from across the nation on timely information for you. And this weekly Insights comes out every Friday. It's a great digest of what we're putting out and what others are putting out, and all related to relevant practical things for your work. We also have a rosters program, which we're not going to talk about in depth here today, but just if you are interested in the rosters program, we have online training that you can take and really understand the ins and outs of how the rosters program work. But very briefly, it's a statewide directory that connects businesses and public agencies for small works projects, consulting opportunities, and goods and services. We have a separate website for the MRSC's rosters, and we also have started just this January a new e-bidding service. So it's a fantastic service for those of you who are interested in moving to e-bidding for your public works contracting. It makes it so much easier for people who are preparing and submitting bids and for those who are evaluating bids. And because of our partnership with Bonfire as a software provider, we're able to offer this service at a really discounted price. And it's just a wonderful new opportunity for folks. Social media is another way to connect with MRSC. So follow us on Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Steve Hawley, who's going to take over and really give you an in-depth look at our website resources.
Great, thank you very much, Tracy. So I'll do kind of a quick overview of our website right now, and then we'll switch over to, I'll do some screen sharing and actually take you on a little tour around the website. So just to start off, the MRSC website has a ton of information. And like Tracy said, it's all, it's curated by our staff members and our attorneys, and it's all focused on Washington State. We have a variety of databases. I'll show you a few here in a few minutes. We have over 350 what we call topic pages that provide legal, policy, and financial guidance on a wide variety of topics. This is kind of, some people can compare it to like Wikipedia for local governments. We have, as Tracy mentioned, 2 new blog posts per week that we write. We have 30 in-depth publications. These are detailed PDF documents that you can download, you can print, you can refer to on core local government topics. such as public records, open public meetings, procurement, finance, those sorts of things. We also have an extensive sample document library with over 4,400 sample documents. These are examples of ordinances, resolutions, policies, procedures, job descriptions, RFPs, what have you, that have been adopted by local governments throughout the state. And then we have access to our webinars and trainings like Tracy mentioned. So with that, we will launch one final polling question here. So a question for you all. Have you used MRSC's website recently? Yes, often, yes, occasionally, or no. And just like the previous ones, you can just select one of the buttons on your screen. All right. All right, here we go. So 16% say yes often, about half say yes occasionally, and a little over a third of you say no. So that's great. That's a really good split. And my hope is that even if you have used our website often, you'll still find something new and interesting that you didn't know about our website, or a way to kind of navigate around it better. So with that, I'm going to switch over to the screen sharing. Okay. You should be seeing the MRSC homepage right here, mrsc.org. Like Tracy said, we're not going to be discussing the MRSC rosters program today. There is a link to the rosters website up at the top if you want to access that. So here on the homepage, you can see some of our recent and upcoming resources. So some of our recent blog posts on essential public facilities and the Growth Management Act. Another one just published on a pop quiz on paid family medical leave. We've done a few of these pop quizzes that always get a good response, kind of an opportunity to educate yourself as well as test your own knowledge and see if you know the answers to some of these questions. We have information on upcoming trainings. We have examples of recent questions that we've answered. We call it the Ask MRSC archives. We publish one a week. The ones we put on our website, they're kind of anonymized, so we're not identifying specific jurisdictions or individuals who have asked those questions. We always edit them and kind of make them broadly applicable, so we're not identifying the city of such and such. We're just kind of talking about cities or library districts or counties or whatever the case may be. I want to show you real quick, Tracy was talking about the Ask MRSC service, so you can access it from this Ask MRSC button here. Just kind of briefly show you what that looks like. We do have a question about how can we find out if our agency is a partner of MRSC in terms of being able to ask questions. So we do have information here in terms of who can use the Ask MRSC service. So if you click on that, we provide an overview. So if you work for a city, town, county, or state government agency, you are automatically eligible. The special purpose districts, I know there are a lot of you on here today, gets a little more complicated. That depends on a number of different contracts that we have with associations or with insurance providers. So you can see kind of a list here, all special purpose districts that are members of Endurus, WCIA, or CIAW, as well as a few specific association contracts. Some of them you are eligible if you're a member of that association. Some of them you have to opt in. It depends a little bit. What you can do is you can select the type of agency that you work for. So if you select city or county, it will ask you to select the specific city or county. If you're for a special purpose district, click other government entity, and there's actually a search option. So you can enter the name of your particular agency and search. We know that some agencies have multiple names. You might have a legal name, a DBA name. We've tried to update this so that those multiple names are reflected. If you're still not sure after going through all this, feel free to contact us. You have a contact button right at the top here, and we'll be happy to let you know whether you are eligible for those services or not. Now, in terms of looking for information on our website, there are two basic options. So one of them is searching our website, and that's using this search bar that's at the top of every page on the website. And the other is using these drop-down navigation menus. So I'll show you a little bit about both of those. I'm going to start with the search bar. So our website search is a really powerful tool. It's a great way to look for information, especially if you're not entirely sure what you're looking for or where you might find it on our website. So I'm going to search just for a very generic term, very popular, public records. I'll click go. And you can see this is a topic that we get a lot of questions about. We have put out a lot of information about. So you can see these are all of our search results related to public records. You can see we have 854 search results. Now, hopefully the information that you're looking for is going to be near the top of your search results. So you can see this first one, Public Records Act, provides links to all of MRSC's resources related to PRA. You have additional pages on Public Record Act basics. We have OPMA and PRA practice tips and checklists. Hopefully you can find what you're looking for there. Now, if you are looking for something specific or you want to narrow your search, you can do that using this refine your results sidebar over here. So you can actually select a document type, one or more document types, and narrow down your search. So you can see here topic pages, we have 210 of those, blog posts 467 that reference public records, publications, sample documents, Ask MRSC inquiries, news articles, and then other pages. Now, if you're not sure what any of these mean, there is a gray question mark icon, and you can hover over it, and it will tell you that in this instance, topic pages provide topic overviews, including legal guidance, practice tips, examples, and more, whereas blog posts are short articles on new legislation, court decisions, emerging issues, and best practices. So I'll just do kind of an example of this. So let's say that you are looking for a Public Records Act policy or procedure. You can click on sample documents. That's that sample document library I was referencing earlier. And with one click, we're down to 82 results. Now that's still a lot. And the cool thing with sample documents is that you can take it one step even further and select a particular document type that you're looking for. So we have over here contracts and agreements, fee schedules, job descriptions, ordinances, and several other categories. So one of the categories is policies and procedures. And so if you're looking for a public records policy or procedure, you can click on that. And with just 2 clicks, we've gone from, 802, I think it was, search results, down to 32 search results. And you can see here a couple of the documents. So you have the name of the document. You also will have the name of the jurisdiction that adopted that document and the year that it was adopted by the jurisdiction. And for many of these documents, we also provide a short description that MRSC has put together of what type of information is in that document, just to hopefully, kind of allow you to orient yourself and see whether that document is likely to be relevant to you. If you click on one of these documents, you will see most of these documents are PDFs. So this is a PDF copy of the resolution from the City of Snoqualmie adopting these public records rules. And then if you scroll down, then you get into the rules themselves. And all of the documents that are in our library are actually hosted on the MRSC website. So they're basically copies that we have obtained and then saved to our website. That makes it much easier to access and makes it much less likely for those links to break. So that's a great way to look for documents. I'm going to go back here. And then I'll do a couple more examples. I'll also mention that if you've kind of refined those search results and narrowed it down, but then you want to go back to the big picture again, you can always clear your selections at any time. And that will take you back to, it was 854 results, I guess, to start with. So now you're back at the original 854 results for public records. A couple more examples. I'll do one for, let's say you're looking for information on emergency fireworks bans. So I don't know about you, but where I am, it's pretty wet and dark today, but summer will be here in a few months. We always get questions about this, especially when you have, extended periods of heat or drought. So I'll just type in emergency fireworks bans. And you can see here a variety of results. So you only have 10 of them because we're looking now for a much narrower topic. The fireworks regulation topic page You also have a variety of sample documents, and again, provides kind of a description of what is in that document, or what sort of policy approach was taken. Now, generally speaking, I would recommend that you start with the topic pages, which will kind of provide the context for whatever topic that you're looking at. If you feel like you already are very confident of that, then you can go, straight to some of these examples if you want. But the examples will also be linked from these topic pages. So you can click on fireworks regulation. This is one of our topic pages, kind of those Wikipedia sort of resources. And right off the bat, we tell you the type of information that is available on that page, and you can also see the different sections that appear on the page. So you can see this drop-down menu. It's got an overview section, a section on permitting and licensing, prohibited types of fireworks, examples of local ordinances. You do have a section specifically on emergency fireworks bans. And so if you click on one of these sections, you can jump directly to that. So I'll click on emergency fireworks bans. And now here you are, the information, kind of that legal context. So here's an example of a topic where, the legal authority is not 100% clear in terms of what is or is not allowed. It's not our place to tell you what you should or should not do for your specific jurisdiction, but we kind of, provide the framework and some of the arguments, and then some examples of jurisdictions that have taken a variety of different approaches on that topic. You can always go back to the top of the page at any time. There's this green back to top button. And then I'll do one more example. So let's say you are a library district and you have some surplus property. You're looking to get rid of some old computer equipment or printers or something like that. So you could type surplus library property. So here we only have 3 results. Again, a much more narrowly focused topic. One of those results, this is a page that we actually created just a few months ago, surplus property for special purpose districts. And I'll show you that page. So again, we have a variety of subjects here. So this is one where you're probably going to want to read quite a few of the sections because, we have kind of an overview, general surplus procedures and practice tips, information on personal property, which is what computer equipment would be considered. There's also separate information on real property, intergovernmental property transfers, many more topics. And then we get specifically, if you scroll down a little more, into some of the statutes for specific types of special purpose districts, including library districts. So you kind of read through that information. Once you have a feel for kind of the overview and the basics of personal property in this case, you could always go down specifically to the library district section, see the information that's there, as well as a few examples that we have from that particular jurisdiction type. Now, I'm going to go through the drop-down toolbars here. So we have, I'm just going to go left to right. We've got our research tools. This provides another way of using our Ask MRSC service if you would like. We have the Ask MRSC archives. That's where we I mentioned earlier, we post 1 per week of kind of anonymized responses to questions that we've received. We also send those out in our weekly e-newsletter. Just a quick point of clarification, that e-newsletter goes out every Thursday, not every Friday. So keep an eye on your inbox every Thursday. One of the most popular tools whenever we do this webinar is our city and county website search. A lot of people don't know about it, and once they find out about it, they think that that's really cool. So I will show that to you. So the searches that I was showing to you earlier, those were searching on MRSC's website. All that information was on our website. These tools allow you to actually search external city and county websites. So you're not actually searching MRSC's website here. You are searching, this is a custom Google search that we've essentially created that searches city websites in Washington State and county websites in Washington State. So for instance, let's say that you work for a county and you're looking to update your critical areas ordinance. You could always click down here for search county websites, type in critical areas, click the search button, and then the search results that you see are actually on those county websites. So you can see King County, Snohomish County, Whatcom, Skagit, and so forth. So if you click on one of those, It'll open in a new tab up here, and here you can see that we are actually now, we're no longer on the MRSC website, we are now on the Thurston County website. So that's really a great tool. We use it internally too when we're looking for information on certain topics. So I'm going to close this. This will take us back to the search results on the MRSC website. We also have city and town profiles and county profiles under our research tools. I'll show you just briefly what those city and town profiles look like as an example. So this provides a listing of all 281 cities and towns in the state of Washington. You can see them here listed in alphabetical order. If you click on one of these entries, it'll expand it to give you more information, including contact information, links to the jurisdiction's website, and links to certain documents if they're available online, such as the municipal code or their comprehensive plan. There's also information on the population for each of these cities and towns, the county that they are located in, their classification, and their form of government. And by clicking on the top of any of these columns, you can actually resort the list according to that. So if you click on population, now you're seeing the smallest jurisdictions in the state listed all the way to the largest. If you click on form of government, now you're seeing all of the council manager cities. And then if you keep scrolling down, then you get to all of the mayor council cities. We have a local ballot measure database. I'm not going to show you every single one of these tools, but just kind of, let you know that they're there. So the ballot measure database tracks all local ballot measures throughout the state, with the exception of school districts, going back to November of 2011. So coming up on 12 years of data here. So if you are considering a ballot measure of your own, you want to see how similar ballot measures have fared, or in particular parts of the state, you can look that up. We also have our sample document library. So the sample document library, you can search our sample documents using our general website search like I showed you earlier. But if you just want to focus in on the documents themselves, you have a couple of options. So you can search the sample documents, or you can browse them by topic. So if you're browsing by topic, you can see some of the topics we have. We have budgets, contracts and agreements, fees, franchise agreements, job descriptions, ordinances and resolutions, policies and procedures, etc. So if you're looking to update some job descriptions, for instance, you can click on job descriptions, click go. And here you will see a listing of all of the job descriptions we have in our library. So there are 429 of them, and they are listed in alphabetical order by the job title. So you can see a variety of accounting related positions first, a variety of administrative positions after that. You can also, again, resort based on the date or the jurisdiction. So if you click on date, you can see the most recent job descriptions that were added to our library. And you can do that for any of the categories of documents. And then you can also search sample documents. This functions similarly to the search that I already showed earlier, but just provides kind of another way of doing that. So let's stick with the job description example. If you're a water sewer district looking for examples of general manager job descriptions, you could type in general manager. You could search all sample documents. You could drill down to job descriptions. We'll select job descriptions. And again, you can see the results that you have here. We've got about 10 of them listed, as well as the jurisdiction and the year that they were adopted. A few other research tools. We have city and county codes. These are links to the city and county codes, whether they're on Code Publishing or Municipal Code Corporation or wherever. We have Find Your Contracting Requirements. This is if you are involved in procurement, a tool to help you identify quickly and easily your statutory competitive bidding requirements. So you just enter the project or purchase or contract type, and then your agency type, and it will tell you what your specific requirements are. We have links to state statutes, the RCWs, as well as the administrative rules, those are the WACs, and court decisions. And then we also have a utility liens and shutoffs tool. So that's for those of you who are in utilities and are trying to figure out if you can impose a lien or shut off service for a non-payment situation. The Explore Topics section of our website, that's kind of those, that Wikipedia section. I've showed you a few examples already. The popular topics on the left provide kind of a quick way of accessing some of those common issues that come up. So some of these topics are always popular and always on that list, things like public records, open public meetings, purchasing and contracting. Other topics come and go. So until recently, our COVID-19 resources were here. That's not been so much of an issue on our end and has been kind of winding down. We still do have some information on our website that you can search and find, but we have some other topics that have been, kind of starting to come up there. And some of these are individual pages. Some of them are kind of a one-stop shop for all of the information that we have related to that particular topic. So if you click on purchasing and contracting, for instance, this shows you all of the information that we have on our website related to procurement. And there's kind of some general information. You have information specifically on contracting for services, information on purchases, quite a few pages on various aspects of public works contracting, and on and on. So a lot of information there. And then you can also, if you're looking for something that's not on that popular topics list, you can also kind of browse through various topics that we have over here. So if you want to take a look at the finance pages, you click on finance. And then you can kind of scroll down through and see the various finance related pages that we have organized by topic. The Stay Informed section of our website is where you can access our recent blog posts. It's also where you can sign up for our e-newsletters. So we have several of them. I'll show you that sign up form real quick. We have, as Tracy mentioned, we have weekly insights. That's kind of our flagship newsletter, comes out every Thursday. That's where you're going to get all the latest information from MRSC in terms of blog posts, in terms of questions that we have answered, news articles, anything that you need to know that's coming through the MRSC website. We also have our training newsletters that go out usually once or twice a month. It kind of fluctuates a little bit depending on the training activities that we have going on at any time. And then we also have several special purpose district editions. These come out less frequently, 2 to 4 times per year. But if you work for a public hospital district or a transit district, an interlocal agency, or a port district, you might be interested in those. I forgot to mention too, when I was talking about explore topics, but a few examples of some recent projects that we have completed on that you may be interested in. Surplus property, I mentioned that already in one of my examples, but we recently created a new page for special purpose districts and completely reworked our information on city surplus property. We're still working on the county ones. Those statutes are a little more complicated, require a little more analysis, but you can get a lot of kind of the general surplus information from the other pages right now. We have a new page on vacancies in elected office. So if one of your elected officials resigns or otherwise leaves office, we have a lot of information about what creates a vacancy and how to go about filling the vacancy. Pages on easements, the American Rescue Plan Act, hiring procedures, and tax increment financing, just to name a few. Training, this is where you access any of our upcoming trainings or our on-demand webinars. There's also a free Public Records and Open Public Meetings Act e-learning course for city and town elected officials that we produce in partnership with the Association of Washington Cities. And then Tracy mentioned earlier our Digging into Public Works series. So these are in-person forums that we're doing at a variety of locations around the state. We started with a couple of events last fall over in Eastern Washington. I'll click on that real quick. We've got a couple of them coming up, one in just about a week down in Vancouver, another one in March in Tacoma, and then a couple of events where we're still finalizing some of the details in Whatcom County and in Clallam County. The publications are where, like I said, they're longer PDF documents that are created by MRSC. Some of them we've created in partnership with other organizations. So the Homelessness and Housing Toolkit for Cities, for instance, was a partnership with AWC. We have publications on budgeting, on revenues, on procurement, a wide variety of topics, open public meetings, your roles as an elected official. Here's one on annexation. I'll click on this just so you can kind of see an example of one of our publications. Any of the publications that we have done within the last few years will have information on revision histories, so you can see what has changed and when, to know if there's anything new or you know, any specific updates you need to be aware of. And then there's a table of contents. You can see all of the information that is in the publication. And then for any of our newer publications, you can also click on any of these sections and go directly there, you know, go back to the table of contents. So a lot of great information there. And then information about MRSC, if you're looking for information on our staff directory or our services, what we do, you want to contact us, you can do that. We also have a contact us button up here at the top. And I do want to mention briefly too that we are sending out a customer satisfaction survey. So it's officially open today. So if you have used our services before, we greatly appreciate your feedback. We'll drop a link here in the chat, and there will also be information coming out about that via email and in our e-newsletters. So if you think we're doing a great job, that's always really nice to hear. Our staff appreciates hearing that. And if you think that there are areas that we should improve, we also really appreciate hearing that, because we want to make sure that we're providing the best information that we can to local governments. So with that, I'm going to turn it back over to Tracy.
Thank you, Steve. That was a really fabulous overview of the MRSC website. Just want to remind you to help us spread the word. I know there are a lot of new people entering public service and local government, and they may not know about MRSC, and we just want to make sure that you encourage folks to sign up for our emails, sign up for our e-newsletters, and make sure that folks within your organization know what we have to offer. Submit your questions through question and answer. We've had a couple of questions that have come in. We've answered some, but one person asked about our e-bidding being very exciting, and do you have upcoming training scheduled for this application? I was able to check in while we were on our webinar, and we're doing individual demos for agencies that are interested in the e-bidding opportunity. So if you want, and I've checked this out with our staff, you can indicate in the question and answer that, yes, I would like a demo, and we'll follow up with you. Or otherwise, you can reach out to our rosters, MRSC rosters staff, but through the MRSC rosters website, and request a demo as well.
We have a question here, another rosters related question on where's the copy of the printed roster solicitation from January. I'm not sure about that. I think you'll have to contact our rosters staff about that. I don't know if you have anything additional on that, Tracy.
No. I think that's the best way to go about that. We can follow up on that.
Okay, we have a question here on can MRSC help with setting policy regarding a public request to use district-owned property for dog training use? That's a very specific question. I imagine our Ask MRSC inquiry service, you know, we could probably provide examples of other approaches. I'm not sure, you know, as Tracy mentioned, we don't serve as your actual legal counsel, but happy to provide what information and research we can to help you formulate that response.
Okay, we've gotten a lot of interest in the demos. That's fantastic. Yeah.
Question here, Tracy. Are there department trainings available for the RFP and contracting process? We are part of public health.
We periodically do webinars on the RFP and contracting process, but really I would absolutely encourage you to attend one of our regional trainings. The nearest, I'm not sure where this question is coming from, but we've got, as we said, Vancouver, Tacoma, kind of North Puget Sound. We've done a few out in Eastern Washington. So, and we'll be doing more, but that is going to be an all day, really in depth. And so we are not doing right now individual trainings for individual agencies. It's just way beyond our capacity to do that because of the demand for it. But watch for our webinars because we do those periodically, and the regional trainings, Digging into Public Works, is a great resource. And you can always call or email Josh Klicka if you have a specific question on our staff, because he's very knowledgeable about this area.
Yeah, and those, just kind of a quick clarification, depends on the type of contract you're envisioning, because the Digging into Public Works is focused just on public work. So it's, it's not,
okay.
The question didn't specify the type of contract, but if it's a service contract or something, that will not be discussed at those.
Okay, we do have publications on those, and Josh has even more expertise on other types of contracting RFP processes, and does do webinars periodically, but service contracts. Okay, we got a great publication on contracting for services, so that's one resource. But we'll put that on our list of things to do webinars on, because I think that's a good one.
All right, looks like we don't have anything in the queue yet. Last opportunity, if there's something you want to know. We'll leave it open for another minute, maybe, see if anything else comes in. All right, well, I'm not seeing anything, Tracy. Oh, we just got one. What does the demo detail? Is this
is a demo of our Bonfire e-bidding software. So it'll walk you through what the functionality is, why you might want to choose it, how it works, and what the expense is, and so forth. Really anything that is related to e-bidding software would be in the demo. Okay. Thank you, everyone, for participating today. And I really want to thank Jacob and Leah on our staff who provided all the back-end services. There'll be a recording of the webinar that will be available to folks.
Yes, thank you all, and hope that you have fun taking a spin around our website or submitting questions to us.
Oh, and we'll have, yes, and answer the, we'll have a opportunity for you to weigh in on how we did today. So would love to hear about that because we're always trying to improve this presentation, which we do periodically.